Hello and excuse me, welcome back to Wargaming with me, Gary. So the last lot of videos I've done, and I've knocked them out quite quickly because I wanted to get on to what I want to do now, but also my next projects. So that's what we're at now. So what are we going to look at today? So today is back to Kings of War, but only this time it's looking at, I'm going to put my glass on because I've got the two books either side of me so I can flick from one to the other. So I've got Picking a Force, so I've picked the forces I want to use for both the historical and the fantasy, and also a quick look at the unit size as well. So we start with Picking a Force, and I'll read from the book itself. You can play Kings of War with just a few units per side, without worrying about the two sides being equally matched. This is great for learning the game, which is what I will be doing. I will be learning. If you don't know anything about Kings of War, we'll be learning together. If you do know anything about Kings of War, give me some tips and pointers. Help me, get on, because I am sure I'm going to stuff this up. But if you don't give me tips and pointers, then it's as much your fault as it is mine. I don't know. Maybe that's how my weird mind could see it. So this is great for learning the game, but after you've become familiar with the rules and have amassed a large collection of models, you might want to try a game where the forces facing one another across the battlefield are balanced, so that both players have an equal chance of winning the game. Yeah, so that's only the first paragraph I've read from, and that's just, and then this comes back to what I've been saying about Kings of War for quite some time. It does seem to be a lot less formal than a lot of games I've seen, not necessarily played, but a lot of games I've seen. And they are interested in you just getting on and playing the game. That's what it seems to me. It looks like they're really keen for you to get on to get your figures out on the table and play the game. And I think that comes across, and I think that's quite nice. I mean, that's one of the nice things about the rules. When you read it, it's very light. It seems to be easy to follow. We'll see if I stuff it up. But yeah, so that's where we're at. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to getting on with it. It says about picking the the forces you're going to use, but it also gives you so in Kings of War you can use troops, and I'll read what it says. So army selection, in order to restrict the possible nasty combinations that can be fielded, and to make sure armies have a resemblance of realism about them, we introduce the following limitations to the unit types that can make up your army. And this is what it got. And it actually, I believe it says the same across the fantasy and the historical. I think that's much more about when you start using points, so that it keeps it on a level pegging as much as it can. Troops. Your army can include up to 2 troops per regiment in the army. Okay, so 1 troop we'll go into that. Yeah, we will go into that when we look at the units. So I'm not going to try and explain it now, because I'd like to try and keep on track. Your army can also include up to 4 troops per horde in the army. Regiments. Your army can include as many regiments as you like. For every regiment in the army, you can also include the following. 1 war engine or a monster or a hero. For example, including 3 regiments gives you access to up to 3 additional units chosen from war engines, heroes and monsters. well, it's sort of gone over itself, isn't it? I also wonder with the troops, I wonder if that enables you to use kind of like, you know, like skirmishers, to put archers and stuff in front and move them around a bit freer, because troops being much smaller would have more manoeuvrability, I would imagine. So I wonder if that's why there's a limit on the number of troops you can have. When I say troops, you know, for a unit. Hordes, your army can include as many hordes as you like. For every horde in the army, you can also include the following. And it says the same about the monsters, war engines, hero, and then it gives you an example. And then a legion. And the legion is the biggest unit you can have. Legions are hordes for the purpose of army selections. So it's nice and simple, like, you know, to work that out. Then we go to units, and it tells you the size of the units you can have. And then I'm going to look at the troops I've chosen. Okay, so it says units. Kings of War. All units are made up of one or more models. The number of models that make up a unit is specified in each unit's stats, explained on page 51. We just did that. Okay. Infantry. Infantry units can come in 4 sizes: troops, regiments, hordes, and legions. Troops consist of 10 figures per troop. Yeah. Regiments consist of 20 figures. Hordes consist of 40 figures. And legions consist of 60 figures. And I really would like to do a horde or legion, and perhaps how I could get around that is because I'm not collecting, because remembering I'm using Kings of War at the moment, but I will use other rule sets, and I don't want to have massive units which I won't be able to use with other rule sets. So what I probably could do is combine troops to make regiments, combine regiments to make hordes, and then combine hordes to make a legion. We'll see how that works. The other thing that, right, and I'm going to show you this now. Right, it talks about cavalry. It talks about large cavalry, so that's monsters and stuff. War engines, monsters, heroes. It talks about base sizes. Now, generally, like the base size for 25, like for figures 25 mil, are 25 times 25 mils. So it's, I don't know what that means. Whatever. Anyway. Right, now let's look at the figures I've chosen. Sorry about that. Friend just called round. I had to give him some. I can't go to the rugby today. I'm absolutely gutted. As is my wife. But you know, we go together. We're season ticket holders. I think I've said this before. And but she's come down with a flu. Bless her heart. So yeah. What can you do? Anyway, we were in actual fact, my brother and his young lady, we normally go together because we're season ticket holders. So the 4 of us normally go together. He can't go, he's on holiday. I think he's in Portugal. Yeah, nice one, Kelv. So we invited some friends of ours to go. We have there's a waiting list to get on. There's a waiting list to get on when one of us isn't going. Yeah, one of the couples isn't going. And so it was their turn, and so we can't go because my wife's, bless her heart, not very well. So that he was just coming around to get the tickets. So I was so green. I'm going to miss the game today. But it's a cup game. It's one of those. The whatever cup. Yeah, I don't think anyone really worries about it. But it's another game of rugby, so it would have been fun, and it's against Saracens. Yeah. Probably against Saracens' second team if they've got a brain in their heads. So, I was going to show you the figures. And there's a reason I want to show you the figures. Not only to show off, like these are the figures I'm going to use, but also there's a slight anomaly in between what Kings of War suggest and what I'm going to use. Okay, so they say per base 10 figures. And so it's 10 for a troop, 20 for a regiment. Well, my bases are 12 like they're the size of 12. But they're all 12. I haven't got 10s and 12s, they're all 12s. And I think generally I'm going to be playing like solo games. That's a lovely word for saying you haven't got any friends who want to play figures with you, play war games with you. But yeah, so there's that. So they're all going to be the same. And also, as you saw from previous videos, I'm starting to get quite a collection. So if I was going to play somebody else, we could probably use my figures, if they wanted to. But we could come to an agreement. I'm quite easygoing. So let's have a look. See what we got. So if I move that back and angle that just a little bit. So the first lot you can see in front of you are the Babylonians. And there's 2 regiments there. I'm going to lift this up. Now, so you can see the 2nd regiment behind them. Then I'm going to move away from the orcs for a minute. Here's the, Persian hillsmen or hillsmen. I suppose they could come from anywhere. Eritrea, Chaldania, it doesn't matter. They're hillsmen. And hillsmen were quite a problem in ancient Mesopotamia. Because what used to happen was they would migrate. And cause lots and lots of problems all around the place. So yeah. Now, what I will do is I will use one of these, 2 of these regiments from one of these factions to fight these guys, and these are the orcs, yeah. And I've got a savage orc regiment, and I've got a warrior orc regiment, all from Blacktree. In actual fact, all these figures are Blacktree. But as I've pointed out before, I'm wondering if that all... No, that's too close. Let me do it like that. Yeah, okay. You can see there's 6 figures at the front. Well, in Kings of War, they specify 5 at the front, so there'll be 10 on the base for a troop. But that's not how I'm going to do it. So my troop will be 12 on a base. My regiments will be 24 on a base. My hordes, let me see if I can just quickly work this out. So, let me come back to me. My hordes will be 36. That's right, yeah, 36. And my legions will be 48. So, yeah. So, that's how I'm going to do it. They're the figures I'm going to be using. Wow, this one's taking like 12 minutes, heading at 13 minutes. So I'm going to go now. I want to have another work. I'm going to have a workout and then have a shave. I'll speak to you all later. Take care. All the best. Bye.